What's going on, guys? Caesar Media here, spending another day working on the FD. Just giving you a quick update here on things I have done in the past few days. So first of all, this car has far more issues than I ever thought. I'm just getting into it and a lot of wires are wrong, a lot of things are not working. There's a lot of loose bolts left and right, so I'm literally spending hours just tightening up some bolts that need to be tightened. So first of all, I had this starting issue where the car wasn't starting all the time. It only started when it wanted to. So what I did was started digging through online and found out that there's this blue connector here. This is what's usually connected to the starter relay. It's part of the security switch. So if the alarm is going off, for example, in this car, the relay would not kick off. So the car is only sending 6 volts of voltage to the starter. If the car is only sending 6 volts of voltage to the starter, of course the car wouldn't start because it's not sufficient, and it's just gonna make that clicking noise every time you try to crank it. So this is a common issue on FD, not necessarily a V8 issue, just FD RX7 issue in general. So if you have this issue, what you want to do is basically just bypass the relay and hook up 2 connectors together so that it's always sending 12 volts to the starter unit, and that actually solved my starting issue. Another issue I was having was that the dash, none of the dash was working. So I started digging through, found out that dash was getting power but it wasn't getting ground. So this wire is actually connected to X14 pin that is blue and black in color, and what I had to do was trace down that wire and ground it, and now that it's grounded, the gauge is working correctly finally. Well, that's good. HVAC system is out. I planned on hooking up the heat, but because this transmission, T56 transmission, puts out so much heat by its own, I'm actually debating on whether I want to hook up the HVAC system or not. So that's upcoming. Other than that, I took out the carpet. Both passenger side didn't really have a carpet, but I took out the carpet completely in the driver's side so it's more clean. Door cards have also been replaced both on driver and passenger side, which I'm trying to clean up right now. I know there's some companies, for example the Bubble Tech, they make a nice one-piece door cover made out of sheet metal, aluminum I think, that would look nice and give it that like a race car look. Other than that, I ordered a red strap like you see on the Porsche GT3 RS's, so I can just pull on the strap when I want to close the door. Other than that, the door works fine with this stock door handle. I do have to figure out what I want to do with the switches for the window and the mirror, but it's just kind of hanging off there for now, and that's okay. And same thing on the passenger seat, as you can see. Down there on the ground is ECU that runs the V8 in this car. When you swap V8 motor into these cars, of course you're gonna have to have V8 ECU that's gonna output the correct signal for the V8 platform. As for the interior, it's kinda, everything is taken apart right now just because I'm cleaning everything. So the seat came out, the stock seats, and it's just sitting there, and I plan on installing my ProDrive Vicaros here in a few hours. So this is the original carpet that came out, really dirty, and it's quite heavy actually because there's a lot of foam on the bottom. So you know, I saved I don't know, 5 pounds here with the carpet removal. Back here, no update. But okay, so another update here is I tried test fitting the straight pipe in the back. I think you guys remember that I had the axle back muffler in the beginning. So now I just have a straight pipe all the way through the car. So the car should sound pretty good, especially because it's cammed. So I'm excited for that. Now these wires coming out here actually is the starter relay. I got rid of the regular ignition system, so it starts with the button, and to trigger off the button I'm using a relay to kick off that signal. So I basically just tied into the ignition key wire here. I don't know if you can see. Let me zoom in here. So there's my ignition, and the ignition output I just tied in the 2 wires and put this green cable in between. It's not hooked up right now just yet, but this would essentially turn this car into start by key into start by push button. Okay, that's it for the interior. I haven't done much in terms of engine work, but I started looking through things and I realized that the radiator fan relay isn't hooked up here, and this is a stock Mazda relay, so I'm gonna have to somehow hook this up or remove it and come up with another solution. If any of my viewers are familiar with the VA/FT setup, please let me know. I haven't done my research on how to hook up the radiator with the switch. One thing I realized here is that the motor ground, which is this cable here, actually goes all the way into the car through the firewall inside the vehicle, and it's attached to the battery. So this car is literally grounding the motor to the battery itself, and I feel like there is gonna be a lot of other issues like this where I'm gonna just find horrible wiring job, horrible connection like these household connections with just simple electrical tape. Someone had to go through and redo everything. There's a lot of wires just hanging off here, connectors off. ABS doesn't work, of course, so I need to check that out. So mechanically, I found out that the previous owner doesn't know what cams are in this car. I know it's cam and it sounds cam, but he doesn't know what kind of cams are in the car. And for me to tune the car right, I need to know what kind of cams are in here, as well as what kind of rods, what kind of springs. So I'm essentially gonna have to take this apart. I'm gonna have to take apart this whole front section so I can pull the pulley forward and look at the front of the camshaft so I can see the number on the cam, and I can look up online and see what size cams I have. Before the tune also, I heard that I'm gonna have to get new injectors, which shouldn't be too hard, but that's another thing I'm gonna have to work on. So that's about it. I think my oil pan's also leaking, so I'm gonna get a new oil pan gasket and drop the oil pan, reinstall that eventually. So, but that's about it. I don't want to make these videos too long. I've been just busy diagnosing the issues, figuring out what I have to do with the car. But here it is. Here's where I am. And also, there's a lot of issues with the suspension components. My control arm bolts nuts were coming off halfway, it was loose. My ball joints were coming loose. Everything on this suspension of both sides really was coming loose, and my sway bar wasn't even hooked up. So there's a lot of just maintenance issues. So I'm gonna have to go through and tighten every bolt in this car to spec so that I feel safe driving this thing around town. And that's it, guys. Just a quick update on what's going on. My stock seat's out, and this is gonna be just chilling in the garage as a lounge chair, and this of course is super heavy because it's stock, and it's just gonna come over here for now. And this here is the Vibrant stock, or should I say the Vibrant exhaust that came with the car when I bought it. Custom work welds aren't that perfect, but that's okay. I won't be using this anymore because I'm going straight pipe because race car. So thanks again for watching the video, guys, and let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you have any tips for me. This is my very first VA/FT build, so if you're experienced, please let me know, and I'll see you in my next one. Peace.